Well, we haven't started an episode with a time lapse in a while. I'm Mars Built, and welcome back to another episode here on the Project Bedrock server. Well, you were probably able to tell from the time lapse, however, we do now have a brand new sizable storage system here that we can store all of our stuff in. However, as large as this thing is, we do still need to subcategorize everything because, well, if I ended up making a sorting system for every single item and block inside of the game, it would be clear out there and probably past the house. So I ended up making this to where there was just a bunch of subcategories, things that we're going to have a lot of. We can go ahead and give a dedicated chest to, like redstone bits. However, like this, we have pistons, so we'll have sticky pistons, regular pistons in here. This is all kinds of chests and barrels. So we have our barrels, our chest, our ender chest. And then we have other things like this over here, which is going to be our flowers and dyes. And inside of there, we have all of that. We have leaves and plants here. And then we have our seeds and sprouts up here. So yes, there is still quite a bit of manual sorting to be done. However, the bulk stuff that we're going to be throwing inside of our sorter is going to be the most common item, and that's going to be sorted out automatically. Now you might have noticed we have deep slate type blocks here, stone type blocks, cobblestone type blocks. However, we don't really have any cobbled deep slate, any of the stone inside of here, or any of the cobblestone in here. And that's because that's all going to be bulk storage. And if we put our wings on and fly out here, you will see that we have a brand new silo over here. Now it was just nighttime, so I do need to watch out for creepers. However, this silo is going to house all of our bulk stuff. We have the stone right here. And then we're going to have the andesite, cobblestone, cobbled deep slate, granite, and then we're also going to have our dirt out here. Now I might end up changing this to where I add in potentially some dorite and also some blackstone out here. However, for now, I'm just going to leave it like this. But for all in all, I think that it came out rather great. So if we come down to the back side of that same storage silo, we have a sorting system input chest. And this is basically just a auto dropper that drops it all into the stream that is down underneath here. On the back of the barn here, we ended up designing a catwalk that went across, and I was kind of stumped as to how to integrate this into here without making it look unbarn-like, and I kind of wanted to keep the pass-through type feeling, and I was kind of up in the air about closing this off. However, we have a ladder going up here, and then we can come up here as well. And up here at the top floor, we have my shulker box unloader. Inside of this chest here, we have all of the empty shulker boxes that come out. And then all of the empty shulker boxes, as soon as they are unloaded, are going to come out right here. And then we have this one here, which is going to be a raw item input. So if we have a bunch of raw items, we can just throw it inside of there, and it's automatically going to put it down inside of the sorting system. And up top here is, of course, where you're going to put all of your shulker boxes here. And then it's going to automatically unload them. And then as soon as it's unloaded, it's going to break them, place them inside of this barrel, and then all of the items will be sorted out automatically. If you're interested in getting the shulker box unloader for yourself inside of your world, I do have a download for it. Now, I do warn you, this is my very first video that I ever made on my YouTube channel, so the quality is, let's just say subpar from what you're used to. But nonetheless, the functionality and the reliability is always there with all of my contraptions, and as of this date, the shulker box unloader still works amazing. This specific one, because I don't typically put any empty shulker boxes inside of here, I would just put them inside of the chest. This one here does not process any of the empty shulker boxes if you put them in empty. And that is exactly what this button is for, which is going to be a manual break button if that does happen. So this one is not made for use with any kind of empty shulker boxes. However, I do have another version of this to where it does process the empty shulker boxes, so you can basically take whatever shulkers you want, whether they have items or not, throw them inside of the chest and it will process them, and it does not care if they are previously empty or not. Both of those are going to be linked down inside the description below, so if you want to check those out and put them inside of your world, they work amazing, and they are just overall a really good redstone contraption. And if you were kind of curious as to how all of this works underneath the surface, well, we have water streams going all over the place to where it basically routes the items wherever they need to be, and this includes routing them inside of the giant silo as well. And inside of the silo here, we do have a absolute ton of storage for all of those bulk items, and we also have a unloader, which is going to quickly unload everything down into those water streams to go through the system as well. I would also have some doors here, which I have tried to put the mangrove doors on here because they look fantastic. However, I don't know if it is a bug or if it is actual zombies breaking the doors down. However, I have put the third set of doors on here, and now I just kind of decided that I'm going to leave the doors off because they constantly get broken, even if I'm not inside of here. Oh, and by the way, happy Halloween. You might have noticed that I have my Halloween costume on, and I also have my mask that I can run around and hopefully scare a few people. However, I don't really know how the aerodynamics on this helmet's going to work, but we're going to fly over to the shopping district because we have a few things that we need to take care of. Plus, I want to show you a few things. Hello? Hello? Gigi? I know you're over here. I can see your name.
You scared the living crap out of me.
Well, hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Do you need some toilet paper?
No, thank you. I've got my pants, thanks.
Well, I got some more leggings if you need them. How do you get down there? Are you down?
The trap doors.
Oh, I see. Whoa, this is this is very, very scary. What's going on?
We need to stop dressing alike.
Dressing
I need my Halloween costume.
Your Halloween costume? Oh man, you sure picked a scary costume. I can't even look at you.
I know, I'm hideous.
Oh my. I do like the suit and tie though. It is amazing. It's very matrixy. Very, very matrixy.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to see mine?
Creeper type. Yeah, let's see it.
Okay, you got to turn around and don't peek.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, you can look. Arr!
That is so cool. That's scarier than mine.
Oh, you want to see something that's even more scary? Watch
Do I need
this.
to turn around again for it?
No.
Okay.
Surprise!
That's so cool. That's the best costume.
So over here inside of the shopping district, you can see that Gigi had a live stream and the group got together and did a ton of decorating. Unfortunately, I missed this live stream because I had a few things I had to do IRL, but may I say that it just came out fantastic. We have kind of spooky candles floating all over the place, and I actually just noticed these jack-o'-lanterns up here inside of the item frames. Those are absolutely fantastic and I love them. They came out super good. But if we come around here, we have a ton of spooky things. We got a spider head there. Kind of a lot to see. More floating candles, and there's floating candles all throughout the entire shopping district. We have some skulks spreading all over the place. We have this guy, whatever he is. He kind of looks like R2-D2, kind of. But we also have my head over here inside of a glass jar, which that's pretty scary if you ask me. Some skeleton skulls, more candles all over the place. We got ghost up in the air. We have a witch over here brewing a frog, which is absolutely amazing. We got a giant jack-o'-lantern shop. We got some characters sitting all around here. We got more ghost over there. We got a giant spider climbing up Gigi's hardware store, which I am definitely not a fan of spiders. And then it continues all the way back here to the LA Sanctuary. We have another warden over here. I guess you always find somebody that's wearing the same costume, but that looks fantastic as well. And then we also have more candles going all the way around here. And it actually looks like they were extending the road all the way over here too, which I have yet to see this. That's going to bring us over here to the warden. And this is something that I was finishing up off camera. And of course, if you have not seen it, we have giant piles of... Well, I don't think that I need to really explain that one. Look, they even put a couple that's still stuck up there. I tell you, what a group we have. But if we come over here, I figured that I should add in kind of a way to get into this if somebody does not have an Elytra, because there's a bunch of good stuff in here that's going to be sold. So we can come up here and we have the double elevator here. One side goes up, one side goes down, and the same story over here. Yeah, that's where my shulker boxes went. I've been looking for these. And we can go up this one here. I'm kind of still getting used to the speed of the bubble columns, but you can see that we have a lot of stuff that's already in here and already for sale. We have the bone blocks here, glowstone. We have all of our frog lights over here, and this place is just about ready to open. Down here we have gravel, crying obsidian, regular obsidian, soul sand, nether brick, and blackstone down here. And then we can go up this bubble column, and there's not really anything on the second floor as of yet. But up here at the top, we have magma cream, blaze rods, and we have some gunpowder, level 3 rockets, level 1 rockets. We're going to have beacons eventually. Then we have elytra and all of the sculk blocks. Over here we have sticks, glass bottles, leather, and string. And then we can continue up here, which is going to take us to the very top of the warden, just in case somebody wants to fly up here and access the shop, or they can of course take off from here as well. On the other side here, we can pop back down, and it's going to take us to the other side where we came in. And then this is going to be the very top floor, which is going to take you up to the warden's head. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot in here yet, but the main theme of the shop is pretty much going to be all of my farm drops. So you would come here for mostly all of your raw materials. And of course, if you have not seen it yet, we have the beating heart inside of the center. And then we have our spiral 4x4 piston door that will let you in and out of the chest here. And if you land on top of this glass here, that's going to open up the door via sculk sensors that are going to be waterlogged. That way you cannot hear them. And you might have noticed that some of the stock did come from the redstone shop, and that's because it's not quite redstone. And I'm going to be redesigning all of this and making it more centerized over top of the actual redstone, so all of this will probably be shifted towards the center. That way this is going to be strictly a redstone shop. That way they can come here for all of their redstone needs. And it looks to me like we have another redstone request, so we're going to grab this one too, because that's what we're going to be working on in today's episode. We're going to have these two done by Gigi and get those taken care of for her, and we're also going to see what this one is here with Buckee. So Buckee says, I need an item sorter for my drowned farm. I want to keep tridents and copper. If you can, also create an item disposal for rotten flesh. That would be amazing. Well, that is definitely something that we can take care of for him, and it shouldn't really be too big of a deal. The other thing that I want to start on today is going to be this plot here, and that's going to be the factory that I've been planning to put here for many episodes. And if you can't tell from the size of the plot, this is a very large scale build. So today we're just going to be mapping it out with a bunch of wool, and then we'll be able to really get a better idea of what it's going to look like in the future once all of that is down. So I think we're going to take care of that first and foremost. Then we're going to start taking care of all of these redstone requests and get those taken care of for the other members. So let me head on over here and grab some wool, and we'll get started. Alright, let's see what kind of color we're going to be building this thing. Well, don't really have a whole lot of red. Yeah, there's some yellow in there. Let's look at this. Oh, we got plenty of blue. So I think we're going to use the blue. And while we're at it, I suppose we can throw the armor back on. That way I don't go splat. And let me just grab some of this random stuff. I'll just throw this inside of the wool chest over in my sorting system. And there we go, much better. Yeah, it's so nice being organized. Oh, by the way, I ended up taking all of those random shulker boxes that I ended up loading in the last episode, and they are all sorted out here. So that's where all of this stuff come inside of here. We just have an absolute ton of materials for now. And I'm sure we're just going to be adding to it as we progress throughout this world. So let's head on over here to this... Ow, that hurt. Take two. So let's head on over here to this new area where we're going to be starting on our factory build. So as I mentioned, we're pretty much going to be building the framework for this thing today and kind of getting the size all put together and make sure that we have a big enough plot to put this build inside of here. Like I said, this thing is going to be massive, and I've been kind of vague about it, but essentially what I'm building is going to be a giant factory, and I'm going to be putting the inspirational picture that I have for this factory on the screen right now. So this is pretty much what I'm going to be shooting for while building this, and the purpose of this factory is going to be to really help reload all of my shops, mainly my redstone shop. That's going to require a ton of crafting, and I have a lot of cool components that's going to go into it to help me do that. It's also probably going to be big enough to fit multiple different farms in. That way we can kind of have the supply of the materials that we're going to need to do all of this crafting inside of the farm as well. And it's going to have a ton of room for bulk materials to go in to aid in the crafting process also. I might even end up building my tree farm inside of here that I have created a few months back, and that's really going to help with all of the wood material that I'm going to need in order to process things like chests and hoppers. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Let's go. And just like that, we have the framework to our factory all completed, and now with this complete, you can just start to see the size and scale of how big this thing really is going to be. This thing is going to house a ton of different farms inside, and like I said, a bunch of different contraptions that's going to help us with building a bunch of redstone components. And we also have a couple bulk silos here inside of the front of the build also that's going to help store all of those bulk components for further processing. However, even though this was a skeleton, it was still quite a bit of work to get all of this time lapse done, and I really don't have any more plans to do much of anything else with this for this episode because we're going to have so much more work ahead of us to get the walls up on this place and to get it built into an actual building. But for now, I wanted to jump over here to the marketplace and show you guys a few more of the shops that are starting to pop up around here from our newer members. Over here on the left hand side, we have DarkJ's shop, and inside of here, he is selling, I believe, some of the tinted glass. Yes, tinted glass. If we look inside of here, we have tinted glass here and a little bit there. And then we also have the amethyst blocks here, which are great for decorating or also having like musical notes underneath carpets and stuff like that. Oh, and he even has some clusters down here inside of a barrel as well. Although his pricing is a little on the steeper side, but I look for that to come down with him getting more and more inventory. We also have a few armor stands over here as well. And if we head over here to the north side of the shopping district, you can see we have a few more shops here that have popped up as well. We have Concotta here, which I can only assume is going to be concrete and terracotta. But let's take a look inside. I believe this is Buckee's new shop. And we have a ton of different colored shulker boxes with a ton of different concrete. This is awesome, and I'm sure this is going to be a more than welcomed addition to the shopping district because concrete is such a good seller, but nobody really wants to take the time to actually build it. I can only assume upstairs is going to probably be the terracotta. Yes, terracotta here. We have a purple box here for purple terracotta. We got green, white, and it looks like we have the rest of the colors as well, which is a really welcomed addition to the shopping district because I love using this stuff for redstone, and I'm going to need some of it coming up for a redstone contraption. Directly next door, I don't know if this is Buckee's shop or if it's DarkJ's shop. However, we have another shop here, or I believe they might have actually gone into it together. But I'll have to figure that one out. Anyways, Deep Rock Aquarium Shop. Let's take a look inside of here and see what's for sale. We have shulker deals up top. And those shulker deals, looks like there's just one shulker deal. Amethyst, smooth basalt, nautilus shell, and 22 more items. So it looks like it's kind of like sporadic items. And then inside of this other one, we have cobbled deep slate, some tough blocks, and a bunch of other just random materials. Down here we have deep slate. And that looks to be regular deep slate. And then we have regular deep slate here. Is there any cobbled? Copper, you know you want it. Well, yeah, everybody wants copper. Looks like they got a ton of copper blocks here and even some oxidized copper blocks. Oh, here's the cobbled deep slate. We have a bunch of cobbled deep slate here and a bunch here as well. And then, oh, we got tough up here also. This is a really good block if you want to like lay down a foundation and have more of like a poured concrete type texture. It's a really cool texture. Over here we have tridents for sale. Plenty of tridents. Let's see what their prices are. 2 diamonds each. That's pretty fair. That's not too bad. And of course we have an ATM here. And all in all, it's a really cool looking small build. You know, while I was doing the time lapse building this, I kind of thought of something and it never really occurred to me until now. But I have this warden head and you guys are probably wondering where I got this thing for my Halloween costume. So let's go over to a new spot inside of the nether and I want to show you guys what I built in order to get not only this warden head, but a ton of others. And after a very long walk, we get to a newly formed nether portal here. And on the other side of the nether portal here, you can hear that we have a noisy guy all the way down there. And this is indeed going to be a warden farm. That's where I got the head from. But if you look inside of this chest, I don't just have one head, I have a ton of different heads because I've been AFKing at this thing for quite a while. And you just saw more make their way up into the storage chest. Most all of the skull catalyst I have cleared out to put inside of the shop for sale. However, the warden heads are starting to pile up also. So I think the best way to show you is to jump into spectator mode. We're going to go down here. Now, whenever we're in spectator mode, the warden is not going to take any kind of damage from the trident killer. And this is set up like this from Mojang. It's something that they implemented with the spectator mode. However, this thing is very simple. There's a very small spawning platform here where the warden is going to spawn to where he doesn't have very far to walk in order to find the trident killer. As soon as he finds that trident killer, he's going to fall in and die very quickly. Using my trident design, I'm able to kill the warden in just under 20 seconds, which means you're going to average about 2 wardens a minute inside of this farm. The design is very simple and straightforward. We just have my trident killer design here. And once he dies, it gets the item pulled out, shot out of this ice stream here to where it's going to go up and ultimately make its way into that storage chest up top. The activation circuit is very simple. We have a T flip-flop down here, and that T flip-flop is controlled by a target block. So I can remotely control that Trident Killer if I go all the way back up here and jump out of spectator mode. You can see as soon as I do that, the Warden's going to start taking damage again, like he should. And then I can come around here, make sure that you do not fall down this hole, because that would be very bad. And you can take a bow and arrow or a trident with loyalty on it and shoot that target block. And as soon as you shoot that target block, it's going to turn off that Trident Killer. And then you can reactivate it by shooting it once more. And as soon as you shoot it, that Trident Killer is going to turn back on and start killing that Warden. You definitely want to have some kind of remote activation because you don't want to be anywhere close to that Warden. Alright, now that we're back over here inside of the shopping district, I went ahead and grabbed both of these redstone request books from GG, and I also grabbed some redstone components and also my redstone box. That way we can get started on building these things that GG wanted us to take care of. Anyways, if we go over here, we should be able to find her. I have found her. Knock knock, anybody home? Aren't you glad that fire arrows can't burn anything down?
What you killing?
Nothing. Hi.
I've been picking up all of those arrows. Or no.
Sorry, I got bored.
That's insane. Yeah, I can see that.
Well, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I was coming over to see what you wanted to take care of with the vending machine. I know that we discussed it a little bit in the past, but didn't really go into much detail. Whose shulkers are
Let me
these?
show you.
Are these yours?
These are mine.
Oh, okay.
These are the things that I want to sell inside the vending machines.
Oh, okay.
And I'm selling these tokens in the hardware store to use in the vending machines.
Tokens. That's cool.
Yeah.
Vendo token.
That'll
Okay.
be-
That's a cool.
Yeah.
That's a really clever use of renaming a flower, and it even looks like a token.
I thought so.
So how exactly do you want this to work, and what were you thinking as far as price wise? Were you wanting these to be randomized, or were you wanting?
No,
Okay.
I was going to build vending machines around in several different places,
Okay.
but I don't know how many items we can sell per vending machine. And the only payment that it takes are these tokens.
Okay. And the one thing that I would be questionable on would be with the token. Are you wanting the same price for all of the items inside of here?
Yeah.
For the token? So
Ev-
like whatever a token costs, say it's like 5 diamonds, then you would use just one token per helmet, per
Yeah.
legging, stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that would be fairly simple and easy to do. Now, I can make this vending machine pretty easily sell up to 14 or 15 items if you wanted to sell
Whoa.
that many. And that's not too complicated to do. The complicated part gets to be if you wanted to change pricing on everything, then you have to keep track of what items cost what, and you have to do that via redstone, which can be a rather large circuit.
That's why I went with the token
Yeah.
bill. So it's just one flat fee for everything.
Okay. Yeah, that would greatly simplify everything. So, yeah, depending on how many you want to sell inside of here, we can do that. And basically, the way that it would work is I would put a book out here, would probably be the easiest way. And then you could flip through the book and basically put it on whatever you want to buy. So, have like the first page would be, say, leggings, and then the second page you could have chest plate on there, third page you could have helmets on there, and so forth. And then whatever page you left it on, then you can just go ahead and hit this button, and then it would dispense it once the payment's done. Ooh, free piece of bread.
Nice. Let's do one with armor and then another one with tools. How's that sound?
Okay, so you would want both of those inside of the one vending machine here?
No, do one vending machine with armor, and then
Okay.
I'll build another vending machine with
Oh,
tools.
okay.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that would work perfectly fine with me. And then there's also, now that we got all this sussed out, there's also another redstone request that you wanted.
Yes, I would like a little bit of music in the shopping area.
A little bit of music for this guy to sit here and dance to.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, with you being up there, that makes you look extremely guilty, even though I'm the one that hung him up there. So a little bit of music. Well, I would leave it to you to decide what records you want to play, and then you can just go and change them out as necessary. Now,
Okay.
how sophisticated do you want it? Do you want something to where like you can select what track you want inside of there, or do you want to
Just random.
just randomized? Okay, well, if it's
Yeah,
randomized,
I
then
just
that will
thought,
be fairly simple.
okay. I just thought if you're walking through and like the skull sensor or whatever it's called, here
Okay,
as you walk by, random music will just start playing.
yeah, we could definitely do that.
Cool.
Any idea where you want the center of the music to be? I think it spreads like, I would have to look it up. I know it's like 50 blocks or so,
Around here. Like
right
around
around
this
here.
area somewhere. Yeah.
Maybe right here inside of
Maybe
the
when you're walking.
right here inside of the
Sure.
intersection would probably be ideal. Do you own this lot or do I need
Yeah,
to contact the city?
I do. And I've got the permits
Permits? Oh, well,
for it.
we don't need
Yeah.
those. They make enough money.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty, well, I will get that taken care of, and then you can pay me in iron blocks. I mean, that would probably be really helpful with me, because
Okay.
I'm always going through the iron, and I'm going to need it.
Well, definitely. I could definitely do that. Take that token in case you need it for the redstone, whatever. There's more in the hardware store if you need.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need this for an item sorter, and I see Renee's coming up. See what we're up to.
Hello, Renee.
Um, so yeah, what do you say? This one here is probably going to be more complicated, so we can do like 4 stacks of iron blocks for this one, and then maybe 2 for that one, like 6 stacks
Okay.
total.
Sure.
Would that be too expensive?
Nope, not at all. I feel like I'm getting off pretty easy, actually.
The only other thing that I see that might be an issue is due to the comparator needing to be behind the block. You can either do a lectern with a comparator coming out of the back, or you can do the cleaner version of a lectern and then a block, and then a comparator will actually pull the signal through that block and read the lectern through the block, which makes it a lot cleaner. The only issue is I'm going to have some blocks out here to kind of hide all of the redstone. So I might end up maybe dropping the lectern down into the ground by one. That way I
Okay.
can cleanly hide it all. But I'll do my best to make it look good. If I run into any issues, then I will shoot you a message.
Awesome. I'm excited.
Alrighty. Well, I should have it done hopefully within this episode. So,
Nice.
alrighty. Well, thanks for meeting up.
Alright. Thank you.
Alrighty. Bye.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
So now that we met up with Gigi and we know exactly what she wants with these different redstone contraptions, I think the one that we're going to start working on first is going to be this, because it's going to be slightly more complex than the music machine that's going to be down below the shopping district over there. So I think what I need to do first is just go ahead and get set up real quick. And I think I'm going to sort these out too. So I think she said she wanted tools in one, and then also some armor in the other one. So the main difficulty with this is going to be dealing with the small 2x2 size that we have to work with, and I'm going to do my best to kind of accommodate this and not make it any larger, but it is going to make kind of a little bit of a challenge because we need this dropper to be able to dispense, but we also want, whoa, that was a lot of cookies. We also want this to be able to power the system anytime somebody presses this button. So I went and grabbed a lectern and also another piece of red concrete. Hopefully I'll only need one piece of red concrete because I really don't have a whole lot of it. But I'm going to place this down here, and then we'll be able to maybe take a slab and place down a slab here, and that's going to be where our lectern can go. So we'll take that and go ahead and plop that down there. And then hopefully that's going to give us enough area back here to be able to do a little bit of hiding. So under here, we can break that, place a slab down here with a comparator here. And then if we take a temporary book, like this redstone request one here, I think this one was from Gigi. So now that you see that that is down there, it is now putting out a redstone signal, and dependent on whatever page this is on, it's going to make the redstone signal rise or fall. And now behind me, we have a sizable hole to either make a bunch of redstone in, or a giant creeper trap to fall in and blow me up. So now I basically have a sorting system here, and basically what that allows me to do is I could take whatever I want and throw inside of that barrel, and it's not going to pull it down. However, as soon as I place in one of the tokens, it's going to allow that to be pulled through, and nothing else. So with the red coder, it's essentially just a set of comparators that's going to sit here and fight each other. We have this one here that's in regular mode, and then this one over here that is inside of subtract mode. So basically, whenever the input on the main line increases, so for example, if we go up a page, it's going to increase. That's basically going to allow this comparator here to +1 redstone signal, while this one over here, since it's in subtract mode, is going to do the exact opposite. So this will actually take one away simultaneously whenever this pluses one. Essentially what that's going to do is allow this to have a dead spot inside of the center, since it is timed perfectly apart. And that dead spot will toggle back and forth, allowing it to turn on whatever torch the dead spot is on. And essentially with that, we can go ahead and take some sticky pistons and face them straight down. So now whichever one of the torches that are lit up will then extend that sticky piston. And then if we place some blocks down here, then it will lift those blocks up whenever it's not powered, and it's going to push those back down whenever it is powered. And that's basically going to mean that I can run a redstone line all the way down from that button up there, all the way down here, and then we can break these, place down some solid blocks here, with some repeaters facing into those blocks. Now whenever I cycle through the book, it's going to pick these up out of the way. And then once we get on this side, then we'll be able to place in some droppers or something like that over to this side, which should independently power the dropper depending on what page I have selected. So we can give the book a quick cycle just to go ahead and pick up all of those blocks. And we'll put it back on page 1. And then if we go down here, we should be able to see that all of these are picked up except for the page 1, which is now pushed down. Then I could place some droppers down here just like this. And I'll fill all these up with some different items. So now you can see, since it's on page 1, if I hit this button, it's going to power that dropper down there and dispense a piece of dirt, which came out of this one here. However, if I change the page to page 2, then I can hit this again, and it's going to dispense that second one. Page 3, if I change the page again, then we can hit that, and it's going to dispense the third one. And then page 4, we can change that one more time, hit that button, and it's going to dispense the fourth one, which is working exactly the way that we want it to. Now I'm thinking on this side here we can do a barrel, which I think I might have a barrel here. Nope, no barrel. Let me go and grab one. Okay, as I was saying, grab a barrel, and I'm thinking I can place down a temporary block here, a barrel here. Now it's facing up, or maybe we should face it the other way. So then we can place it down like that. Yeah, I think I like that better. And then we can remove that temporary block underneath it. So I did a little bit of reconfiguring. I figured that I didn't really want the button directly connected to the output, because then we would have had to have some kind of authorization system. That way we can see if the payment was actually submitted before we dispense the item to the player. I figured a lot more compact way of doing this would have just been to basically do it all in one. So whenever we hit this button, it is briefly going to unlock this hopper here, which is directly below that barrel. And whenever that takes place, it's going to drop the item down. And then whenever that item comes down, it's going to briefly go through that hopper and allow this comparator to be powered briefly, which will then turn around and power this down here to pop out whatever item is selected above. So now I've added in a few of these window tokens, and every time that I hit this, you can see it's going to pull just one out. And as soon as we have that one pulled out, we will have the number 1 here that just shot these slabs out. And then we have these other ones which will have stone there, door right there, and some dirt there. So if we go and put this on 4, we should be able to get some dirt, and it should only take out 1 token. Okay, there's 4, and then we can hit that. And we have some dirt. However, if you don't have any window tokens in there, you can just hit that. And no matter how many times you hit it, it's not going to dispense anything else. Now the only thing left that we need to do is hook up our system to where the water stream is going to come through here and ultimately put it back inside of that barrel up there, which is kind of a tight squeeze. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, so let's jump into it and figure it out. Alright, so I essentially just moved that line to the other side of the contraption here. That way we can have a place over here to put a dispenser. That way we can directly dispense whatever the person buys into this barrel here and kind of have a multi-purpose barrel. And now down here, I just ended up making a regular ice stream that just goes all the way around and comes up here. And then it goes up into that hopper, which is then going to feed a series of 4 droppers that kind of zigzag and make their way all the way up to that barrel. And by looking at this angle here, you can see exactly what's going on. Now I have these to where this will actually power the dropper here. However, I do still need to make a pulse extender with a automatic firing circuit that will quickly pulse all of these droppers after a short delay. And then we have our pulse extension circuit all hooked up. We have the redstone coming up, and right under here is just basically a observer clock that's going to be pushed up by a sticky piston underneath and allow it to click all of those droppers very quickly simultaneously. So I've also added a bunch of signage down here to where we have helmets, chest plates, leggings, and boots, and also my own subscribe stamp. So then GG can come in here with some shulker boxes and take the boots, place them where the boots go, leggings where the leggings go, the helmets where the helmets go, and also the chest plates where the chest plates go. Well, I am finally done with the vending machines and also the music machine. It was quite a bit of redstone, but I got it done in the end. Gigi's supposed to be over here somewhere, so let's look around, see if we can't find her, and meet up. Hello, Mr. Chicken. And meet up with her, and I'll go ahead and show her simultaneously while showing you guys as well. I see you! I see you! Get back here! Get back here! I'm gonna go sleep. It's getting dark. I want to be scared.
Scared of the dark.
I wanted to show you the vending machine that I got done. And I got
Really
done with this
excited.
one, but not only this one, I also got done with the other one over there as well. So I got both of those
Awesome.
done. And I'm sure you've noticed the music playing underneath as well.
I
And that
have.
is done also. So let me give you a quick, oops, I still got a slab missing there. Let me give you a quick rundown and I'll fix that. And then I'll bury my little stairway back there. But this is pretty much done, and I've added in a few more things to it, but basically the way that you use it is you use this book, and it has a lectern on it, and you basically turn the page and select whatever page that you want in order to order the item that you want. So we're going to go all the way back to the first one, and I'll read it real quick. In order to purchase from this vending machine, you need a Vendo token. You can find these at the hardware store. Place your Vendo token inside the barrel, turn this page to the page with the item that you want to order, and then press the button. Leave it on this page if you wish to purchase a diamond helmet. Then you can flip it, leave it on this page if you wish to purchase a diamond chest plate. You can flip it again. On this one, it's diamond leggings, and on this one, it is diamond boots. And then afterwards, it will just say, please return the book back to page 1 after all orders are complete. Thank you for shopping at the Vendo machine. You can have more items inside of this. I can go in and add some more if you wish to in the future. However, this book always has to have 30 pages inside of it. So it can't have more than 30 and it can't have less than 30. And that's just for the redstone circuitry. So we can flip this all the way back to page 1. And to show you it working, I'll put it on page 2, which will order the diamond chest plate. And inside of this payment barrel, this barrel is going to take your payment, but you're also going to receive your item inside of this barrel. So we can throw in a bunch of different items here, and it's never going to take any of these, so you can't get a false payment. It has to be a Vendo token. So we can take our Vendo tokens and we can place it inside of here. You can place one in there, or you can place as many as you want. And it's only going to take one Vendo token per transaction. So if it has 24 in there like it does, then it will only take one, so you'll have 23 left. So we're stuck on page number 2 for the chest plate. We'll hit the order button. And as soon as we do that, we should hear a verification tone. It took one of the Vendo tokens. And then shortly after, you should hear some more tones, which is going to say that your item has been delivered. And there is our diamond chest plate. But as you can see, it does not take any other items. That way you don't ever have anybody paying with a note block or a piece of ice or anything like that, which is always good, and it will only ever accept one Vendo token at a time. We can remove those out of there, take our brand new diamond chest plate, and then if we wanted to order more, then we can put it on, say, we'll do the last one. Get some diamond boots. We'll throw some more Vendo tokens in there and hit the button. we're going to get a nice little tone. It took one Vendo token away from there. And after a short moment, we should get a brand new pair of boots. And there's
There
our
they are.
boots. Alright, so I can grab that and I'll restock the machine. So basically this machine and the other one works exactly the same. The redstone's a little bit different, but that's just due to kind of fitting it in the area. But if we come down here, you'll be able to see kind of the brains of the operation. And I just use stone blocks for everything for the most part. But it's kind of sloppy redstone, but it works. Then we have different blocks there just to give our note blocks different sounds. And then a bunch of other redstone. But it's pretty small for what it is. It's just kind of funny because this is a small little vending machine up top, but there's kind of a ton of redstone in hindsight that you're not really seeing. So down here is where you can stock it. And I already labeled it for you. You have your helmets here. And your chest plates here, leggings there, and boots there. So we'll put our chest plates away and our boots away.
I like this sign here. Subscribe to ours build.
Of course, I got to leave my stamp on there.
Absolutely. That's well deserved.
And I just made it to where you can just carry in shulker boxes here and be able to grab these and refill them as needed. Now the other one over here is pretty much the same exact setup. However, I did make these to where you can extend them longer and add in some more modules if you would like. So if you wanted to add, say, more different bits of, I don't know, whatever you would sell inside of the armor one. So maybe certain mob heads or something like that. You could do that. The armor one, or not the armor, the weapon one, you would probably have more variety because I figure there's swords, shovels, tridents, pickaxes. There's a whole plethora of them. Tridents. I think I said tridents twice. But anyways. I don't think that I brought my spectator stand over here. Alright, so we could jump into spectator mode. And as you can see, it's pretty much the exact same redstone down here. Just you have more modules. And this is basically the red coder that's going to tell you what is going to be ordered. So whatever one of these pistons are pushed down, that's what's going to allow the dropper to drop out. It's pretty simple with how it works, but I won't really go into a ton of detail. And then these you can just fill up with more shulker boxes and label them just like I have here. And it's all fairly straightforward. And then with this, whenever you label these, then of course you need to put them inside of the book too. And you want to make sure that they are inside of the correct order. That way, whenever you do it, if you're ordering something on page 5 and it's, say, a trident, you want to make sure that the trident is on this spot here. Or actually, that would be the 4th page. And whenever I say pages, I mean it would be the 4th time that you flip it, not the actual page number. Because every quote-unquote page has 2 pages.
I see what you're saying.
Oh, and then the music. The music is right next to this down beneath. And I did have to move it over because it was kind of in the way of that redstone. But this is pretty much a simple loop. We just have a bunch of skulk sensors that are waterlogged. If I can find one, here one is. That is all over the shopping district on the road. And it's just going to pick up the player movement walking around. And then send the signal here. As soon as it sends the signal here, it's going to hit that dispenser, which is going to put a record in. Then whenever it's done playing, it will put it all the way down around here, be powered by that dropper, and then basically make a loop again. However, since there's multiple inside of here, it's going to randomize them before putting them in, so you'll never get the same song twice, really, unless you have multiple of that disc in there.
Oh, you did exactly what I wanted, and more.
It was a fun project. I didn't really spend a whole lot of time compacting it, and I probably could have labeled the redstone better using wool blocks and stuff, but these stone blocks are just so convenient that as you're digging out stone, you can just convert them without even needing a crafting table, as long as you got stone inside of your inventory. So I tend to use those a lot.
Smart. Very smart.
Yeah, it's smart until you have to go down there and debug it a month later, once you forget how all of the redstone works. But it was a fun project, and I appreciate you having me do it for you.
I appreciate you doing it for me.
Hopefully they make you some money and get rid of some of this armor that's been stacking up for you.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, guys, you have probably guessed it. After 45 minutes of this episode, it has finally came to an end. I figured that I would throw together a holiday special for you guys for Halloween. And I know it's a little late. I've been super busy IRL. However, we have accomplished a ton of stuff on this episode, getting our sorting system finally done. And then we got the framework for our huge factory all laid out. And then also threw together some of the things that we needed to finish up for the other members. Chances are, if you've made it this far into the video, then you've probably enjoyed this episode, so if you have not already done so yet, consider subscribing. I have a ton of stuff on the channel, and I'm sure there's a lot more that you'll love. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.